So the Common Core standard that I am going to be looking at today is English Language Arts Literacy, Reading Literature for 9th and 10th graders, the fifth standard under the heading of Craft and Structure. And it reads, analyze how an author's choices concerning how to structure a text, order events within it, for example, parallel plots, and manipulate time, pacing, flashbacks, etc., create such effects as mystery, tension, or surprise. So the big ideas here I see, first off, is the idea of author's choice, which I think is so essential for talking about with young students. Many times in my experience, I'll ask my students, well, why did this happen? Why do you think this happens? And they'll say, well, because it happens, as if the author is merely reporting something. They kind of forget sometimes that the author is always making a choice to create an effect or develop a theme or to create a message. The other big ideas are structure, order of events, parallel plots, manipulation of time, and the effects of these actions, mystery, tension, surprise, etc. And the main skill, the only verb here, is the idea of analyzing. So I've been meeting with my mentor teacher, and the first text that I am going to be tackling with my new classes is Romeo and Juliet. So we've decided to use this standard because we think focusing on structure and events is going to be a good way to approach the play and make it more accessible for our students who have quite a wide array of language abilities. So the starting point that I'm planning on is looking at dramatic structure with them, talking with them about the kind of basic structure of exposition, rising action, climax, falling action, and resolution. I think that most of them will have heard these terms somewhere along the line. So I'm going to review it with them and draw it out using a familiar text, and I'm planning on talking through it with them by using Of Mice and Men, which is the book that they're reading right now. So once they've had a chance to review that with me, I'm going to give them a turn to test their knowledge, and with a partner choose a popular movie, and analyze its dramatic structure. To see if they can apply that formula and plot out that the events in the movie to see if it fits that structure. Then we'll come back and kind of discuss it together. They can see if it fits the pattern, and if it doesn't, we can talk about what choices the author was making that deviated from that kind of standard structure. So introducing Romeo and Juliet by reading the prologue is a great way also to talk about the standard. The prologue basically summarizes the entire story for the audience. So we can discuss Shakespeare's choice to do this. What is the effect of this choice? Is it a spoiler? Does it ruin it, all the suspense, or does it draw them in? And I think that some students will have different opinions about that, so that'll be a good way to kind of approach that idea of self-conscious choice. And also introduce some things about the audience of the time. Throughout our study of the play, we're going to track the events in different ways. One of their projects is going to be to create a comic book. The students are going to summarize the key events in this comic book format in order to just examine the order of the events, kind of strip it down and look at the bones of the play. And this will enable them to highlight Shakespeare's use of dramatic irony, to look for moments when we know more than the characters on stage do, and to talk about what that does, what the effect is for us as audience members or readers of the play, and also for a way for them to look for parallel plots throughout the play. So this is the first standard we're going to use for the play. I think as they become more comfortable, we're going to move into a standard that's more about focusing on use of language and talk more about poetic devices. But we plan to start here with structure to try and, as I said, to make it really accessible and comprehensible for our students. So I'm really excited to try it out. Thanks. And that was my dog.